Good morning. I'm Stacy Thomas here at Orchard Hills. You know, I got blessed this morning. Somebody called me that used to go to our church, and a young guy, I say young, he's probably in his early 40s now, and here's a guy that he was pretty much, he was a rough guy. He was a man's man by all means, hunting, fishing, doing all the things that guys do besides that, but God was working in his life. He's a Christian. And not doing anything bad, just really no real growth in Christ, but he was working on it. And God was working on him. And then they had a baby, he and his wife. And the baby died. And I was there when they were holding that precious child. And the baby died in their arms. And the trauma and all of that was a question mark for my young friend as to why God would do that. But yet I see him now. And he called me this morning telling me he's at work. He works at the airport. And he was telling me, I just had a guy that didn't believe in God. He told me, I hope you're not playing that Christian music stuff. He said, because, I don't go for that. And I don't believe in God. And, my friend said, that's okay. And so they put him with him that day. And so just listening to his Christian music and not being obnoxious with his testimony, just being a sold out, believing Christian, enthused and in love with Jesus, this guy says to him at the end of the day, he says, you're somebody I could look up to. You're somebody that has really made me reevaluate this whole thing about God. Now, my friend hadn't tried to beat him over the head with going to hell or anything else. He didn't really beat him over the head with the Bible. He just simply lived the life. My quiet time this morning was in John chapter 2. It was about the water turned to wine. And they said, you kept the best for last. Most of the time, people go for the best at first. But you know what God's doing with your life and my life? He'll put us through trials that we don't understand, like the loss of a baby. He'll put us through all kinds of hardships. But the end result is going to be so much better. The best is yet to come. That's the way God works. It's the way He operates. He's giving you the best. And even though at the first it seems so difficult and you wonder why in the world all of these hardships are happening, God's in the process of showing you all of those were meant for a purpose. His mother didn't really understand. But you know what she said? You do whatever He tells you. That is so profound. When you get to the place where you totally trust Him, you do whatever He tells you. Because you trust Him enough, regardless of whether it's been hardship, loss of a child, loss of health, all those things that come to our lives, you still do what He says, knowing He's in control and He's going to bless you. What a blessing it was to hear this guy talk to me this morning and say, my life is so different now than what it used to be. It is so filled, so full. And it came from somebody saying to him, do the people at work know you're a Christian? If I were to call up there and say, do you know if this guy's a Christian or not? They might say, no, I don't know. In a world where everybody's so afraid to give a testimony because of our cultural environment, Jesus wants us to be sincere, genuine, and real, based on a relationship. And like Peter, to say to those leaders, whether it be right to be quiet about God, you decide. But we can't but help but speak about what we've seen and heard. He's so real to me, I can't stay shut up. You go out and let God shine through you. God bless you. Have a great day.